Yeah, AEW is tomorrow night at the Forum. I might go. Stephanie McMahon stepped down. I'm going live. Go live, baby.
All right, I'm here.
Are we live?
We're not live now. We've been live for like 3 minutes now.
Oh, we have?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay, rise and shine. I didn't even know. Whoops.
Rise and shine, everyone. Racist.
No. I just talked about, you don't even want to know. Rise and shine, everyone. It's more World Card time. And Dan, the great curator, as you can see, we're really ready right now. I didn't know. I thought he was going to walk away because I know he was low on battery on his computer. I didn't know he had started it. That little SOB.
I started a hot mic.
I know he started a hot mic, then he walked away from it.
It's hoping to catch you say something.
Oh no, geez, that would be awful. That would be cancel culture there. Oh man. Dan, how has it been? Are you surviving this rainstorm we're having in Southern California?
I haven't left the house all day, let me tell you.
How about all week? Oh no, you went to a card show this week. You have to
on the,
tell
on
me
the
more
weekend.
About
it was sunny.
Oh, it was that day?
Yeah. For those people who don't live in California, who don't know, us Californians, we are, when it rains, it stops. It stops the economy. Okay.
Yep, it does.
We don't go outside. We don't know how to drive. We don't do anything. When it rains, everything shuts down in California. So that's just how it is.
I've never seen so many single car wrecks in my life as I have this past week.
We don't know how to drive in the rain. We hydroplane everywhere. It's a mess. It's a mess.
And they were all Teslas too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like every single car wreck was a Tesla. I don't know if they were like doing the automatic pilot thing or what.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I've heard mixed. Now that Tesla's been out for a while, this is kind of off topic, but now that Tesla's been out for several years now, I feel like I hear a lot of mixed reviews about people who think it's a good car, but that like it has a lot of flaws,
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. At some point it was like my dream to get a Tesla, because it was so elite when it first came out. And now I'm just thinking about it. It just looks like there's better options for electric vehicles out there. I don't know.
There are plenty of new ones, definitely, most definitely.
Yeah, but I still like the company Tesla. I own some Tesla stock, full disclosure.
You do?
Yeah, full disclosure.
That's good.
But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get an electric car next. Mine's a hybrid right now, but might just get another Lexus.
I like hybrid cars. We drive a Toyota Prius, and that thing is like super reliable. I love that thing.
And my car has been too. It's been great.
Yeah.
And Lexus service is great here in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So but I've had it for 10 years, my car.
Yeah.
So I'm having any trouble. So I haven't bought a new one because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Saves me money and time. That's it. So what do you want to talk about first today?
Well, let's get into let's talk about the upcoming Dallas show. I want to talk about that.
I know. And what am I going to do without you, Dan?
Yeah. So I'm going to interview you. I'm going to interview you for a change here. So I will not be defending the Dallas show because I'm planning a trip, which we're going to talk about. I'm planning a trip to Asia where I'm going to go on treasure hunting. It's going to be really fun. We'll talk about that later, but I want to talk about this upcoming Dallas show here. What's your vibe that you're getting going into the Dallas show?
Don't have any expectations whatsoever. As a dealer, because the last 3 or 4 have been not so great.
Interesting. The last Dallas show for me was not that great. Okay. It was my worst show of the year, to be honest.
And that one was the better of probably the last 3 for me.
Yeah. The one before that was difficult, but I managed to score some big deals at the end of on the last day to make it
right. Was that also when you sold like the boxes from the case of the Marvel Metal?
Yeah. But that I did see a downtrend in that show too. I attribute it to being too many tables. I've said that many times before. So, and then plus where the hobby is, the current state of the hobby. So going into this show in January, which is next week, I thought since it's so close to my trip, my international trip, I just didn't want to go through all that travel, and I thought it'd be a good time for me to kind of step back and see how the show goes.
Okay,
so that's my feeling of the current market right now. But I keep hearing people say that there's a lot of people talking about how excited they are for this coming show. It's the first big show of the year in the country, I would say, maybe. First week of playoff football, so people are excited for that.
Mm-hmm. And have one extra game in the playoffs.
So you're going to see a lot of hype buying and selling, I think, because in the past where we've done the Dallas show during football season, we're watching the games, and as the games are going, if one person loses, okay, it's a sell-off. If one person wins and goes to the next round, okay, people start buying. So that's a very interesting dynamic, I think, that you can expect to see there. And then that's really it's the first Dallas show that I'm going to be missing in the last 8 shows, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to feel naked without you, Dan.
I feel like a little FOMO not being there for sure, because I'm sure I'll see all these posts on Instagram, and I'll be watching, hopefully you do a live with Brian or somebody.
Yeah.
I'm
going to try to get one in. Yes, definitely. So we can know what's going on.
Are you going to set up live at the trade night?
I'm definitely thinking about it. I think it was a huge success. Everybody really liked it. And, maybe I can have a lot of guest people coming in that, a lot of people know through YouTube and social media. They can come and, say their 5 minutes worth of stuff and just talk about how the show is for them.
Yeah. I think that'd be really cool. I'll be watching it for sure.
Or maybe you'll end up being there on Saturday.
I might jump in. We'll see. I might jump in.
No, maybe you're actually going to be there live on Saturday. You can't take it anymore.
You never know.
You have to get on the next plane.
Yeah, I'll jump on a red eye. I'll be out there.
Yeah, put a carry-on on them because, I lost my luggage in Dallas. So hopefully I don't do it again.
What kind of inventory are you bringing to Dallas?
I'm gonna push a lot of football. I have a lot of football, so I like to push a lot of it. A lot of guys who are in the playoffs.
So you're going back to
a lot
sports.
Of quarterbacks. No, I'm gonna have a display. I'm gonna have 4 display cases. So one of them is definitely will be sports, or 2. I'm gonna have a lot of wrestling out there. I'm probably gonna be buying a lot of wrestling because I want to get us start stocking up for the Wrestlecon at the end of March. Which we're going to be trying to do. They're $500
a lot of wrestling too.
Table, but they're only 6-foot tables. So I could ask you, dude, how many tables do you want for that show? Because it's only a 6-foot table. That gives us only 3 cases.
Just we could fit 4 cases on there, but we're driving actually, right? So we're bringing our own stuff. So
yeah,
I mean, I'll just take 1 table. 1 table for me, 1 table for you, I think.
You want 2 tables?
Yeah, 2. Yeah, for us.
Okay, I just wanted to know before you leave to Asia, because I'm trying to book that thing. I left an email for the woman because I didn't understand the that.
That's going to be really interesting. So if we can just segue from the Dallas show real quick.
Yeah, no, I
think that will be interesting because for the Wrestlecon, it's like wrestling fans, wrestling collectors that go to those cons to buy merchandise. I would say they're not primarily card collectors. They're toy collectors, they're autograph collectors, merchandise, things like that, but they're not like card collectors. So they're going to be seeing these type of things probably for the first time. And I wonder what their reaction is going to be. You know what I mean?
True.
It will be a very interesting social experiment too, because you get these guys, if wrestling fans, a wrestling fan will pay like $500 for a replica belt. That has been made, unlimited amount of times, that has no rarity, no scarcity. It just looks cool. It's a prop. They'll pay like $500 for that. No problem.
Oh yeah, at least. Yes.
But will they pay $500 for a PSA 10 whatever card that is rare, that is scarce? Will they see the value in the card in comparison to the belt, or will they think that the card is like junk? You know what I mean?
It'll be interesting to find out. I can't wait though.
Yeah. Can we convert people into collecting wrestling cards? You know,
yes,
can we
I think we can.
them and start showing off and start building collections, right? So I'm very excited for that. Plus, I have a couple superfractors which I want to take pictures with the wrestlers if they're available. Sergeant Slaughter, Bret Hart.
Mick Foley's going to be there.
It would be my dream to have like Sergeant Slaughter hold his own superfractor in the picture. You know, I would love to do that. So I'm super excited for that. But back to Dallas.
Back to Dallas. I mean, Dallas is always a good wrestling show too. I sell a lot of wrestling there, and I buy a lot of wrestling because there's a lot of wrestling fans. And Dallas hosted WrestleMania last year, actually. And around that time, last March, I sold a lot of autographed wrestling cards, if you remember. To this guy, he just wanted a bunch of them, and he paid me a big sum for it.
You always do very well with wrestling cards there. You do way better than me with wrestling cards there than I've ever done. But I definitely want to get more into wrestling because I just love it. I think it's a lot of fun. And we're going into WrestleMania season with the Royal Rumble.
Coming up
at the end of this month.
3 weeks.
I think that's going to generate a lot of excitement, a lot of news in wrestling, which I think we'll get to. Let's wrap up this Dallas talk because
plus, like I'm gonna bring some Lucas. You know, I love Luca and I have a lot of Luca cards, so I try to push some Lucas while I'm there, and he's having a great season this year. You know, he's definitely up there for the MVP candidate for the season for sure because he's leading top 5 in all stats, offensive stats. So I'll bring that. I'll bring my music cards, my pop culture, you know, Star Wars, and hopefully people will bring me some cool new Star Wars stuff too from the Chrome Galaxy. Yeah. I'm hoping to buy some singles.
So just to wrap up the Dallas talk so we can move on because there's so much I want to talk about. Dallas, so you have no expectations going in Dallas. You have low expectations.
I have low expectations. I'm just going to try to, you know, enjoy myself, try to focus on, you know, some of the live streams and just, you know, since you're not around, it'll force me to, you know, talk to other people. And I mean, you know, I have no trouble doing that anyway. But
no problem socializing.
I know.
I'm the introvert. See, people don't understand this. Between me and you, it might look like I'm the more like social one, but when we get to art shows, I'm an introvert, guys. Like I will not talk to people. I won't unless you come up to me. I will not talk to people. I'm just a little bit like shy about that in public spaces. If you talk to me, you know, no problem. We can have a conversation, but I'm not the one to like go out there and talk to groups of people or anything like that. It's just,
but you put some cards in Dan's hand. And it's kind of like, you know, Popeye is to spinach. He becomes, you know, like super, you know, great curator. He gets all excited.
But Merlin will talk to anybody. Merlin will just, and it doesn't even have to be about cards. It could be about anything. He'll just talk for like 45 minutes. For me, I'll talk to somebody for like 5 minutes and I'll be like, okay, it was nice talking to you, you know, and then I'll just move on. But Merlin would talk to somebody for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I heard Dan will tell people like, you know, I'm kind of busy right now. Go over to Merlin; he'll talk to anybody.
Yeah. Whenever I don't want to talk to anybody, I'm like, hey, have you met Merlin? Have you met Merlin yet? You know,
so true.
So Dallas will be a lot of fun. I'm kind of sorry I'm missing it, but I think it'll make me appreciate the March show a lot more when I'm able to go to that one. And then hopefully
we haven't seen Sunday League Investor. I mean, since the last Dallas show, right?
Yeah. So you have to keep an eye on Brian, you know, make sure he stays out of trouble.
And Luke will be setting up with us, our friend Luke.
Yeah. Friend Luke, Low Pop Cards will be joining the crew for the first time. So that'll be
good to see all those guys. And, you know, I'll just go around. I'll probably go end up having dinner with Travis and the gang this time.
Yeah.
I don't know if EJ is going to be, I don't think EJ's coming, but like he did last time, but I'll eat with some of the guys there and catch up with them.
Who knows? It should be fun. So just go represent the Between Two Slabs brand out there.
Do.
And then here's a tip. You know, Dallas Card Investors, I think that they're running a special on their raw card review because they're gonna be gonna be sunsetting that service. They're gonna get rid of it.
So, what service?
Raw card review.
They're not gonna do that anymore?
I guess not. I guess they're going full slabs, full integrating.
Oh, wow.
Which just seems like an interesting, like, I don't know, curious choice to me for them because that's what built their business, the raw card review. That's what got their reputation. And then now they're going straight into grading, and it's just grading is so competitive. I don't know how they would do that, but anyways, regardless, they are doing, from what I heard, a $3 raw card review special.
What?
Yeah, so I don't know. I saw them post something on Instagram about that.
That's crazy, man.
If they are doing that, you should definitely take advantage of that.
I'm definitely going to take advantage of it. I'm going to tell every person who tries to sell me a raw card, like, take it over there, because it's just right behind them. Like, I want to see what the raw card grade is before I purchase that card from you.
They used to do it. It used to be $15. Now they're doing $3.
Then it was down to $10. Now at $3. Wow,
so that would be really cool. So check that out. Say hi to our friend James Lowe.
James will be selling boxes of wax right next to us.
If Kelly is there,
Kelly and his girlfriend.
His girlfriend,
right? Kelly? No, who's Kelly? Sorry, who's the guy that's right across from us that sells Pokemon?
That's Jake.
Jake, yes, Jake. Yeah.
Kelly,
that's what I was talking about. Jake.
Player. He's the softball player with the
Kelly. Oh, Kelly Wiggum.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, from North Dakota.
Yeah, if he's there.
Hopefully he'll sell me a bunch of wrestling since you're not there.
Hopefully. But anyways, okay, let's move on to these next topics.
Maybe he's going to try to sell that Vince 1 of 1 now that Vince is coming back.
So let's talk about that. Vince McMahon comes back last week. Okay, I think he made the stock pop. I think the WWE stock pop between that. I don't know if you heard.
And what do you mean by that?
It went up.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard, but today, like an hour ago, Stephanie McMahon resigned.
Yeah, Andrew in our chats just
as co-CEO of the company. So that is interesting. Supposedly, he's going to try to facilitate a sale of the WWE, which I don't understand at all. It's crazy. It's crazy. And what's fun about wrestling is you don't know what's real and what's a work. You don't know if this is like how it is and there's drama, or if this is building up to some type of crazy storyline.
Oh yeah, you think
because these personalities can get into the ring and fight each other. Like it would not be crazy to see Vince McMahon have a match with Stephanie McMahon, at WrestleMania or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh,
they've done worse, guys. So you never know, but it's interesting because, as a wrestling collector, of course, I'm invested in this stuff. I want WWE to be very popular and do well.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I like the direction that they're going at right now. I've been super excited about all the storylines, and I don't want them to regress into kind of like the stale storylines that they had in the last year or so.
Oh, so true. Yeah. I mean, I think everybody agrees with you on that one. Definitely.
Yeah. And here's an interesting point I want to make here. Okay. We were talking about Sasha Banks last week, right? I think Sasha Banks, her new name is like
Mercedes Monet.
Not Monet, like money.
Monet.
Yeah. Monet.
Okay.
Mercedes Monet. Anyways, so she makes her. We were speculating where she's going to end up.
Okay.
Right. And then that week she shows up on New Japan and does a little run in on New Japan.
That's texting you.
It is. How did you know that?
Because
you got the text too. Because we're part of a group chat. So anyways, so she shows up in New Japan. And I don't know if you watched it or not. Did you watch it?
The New Japan one? And I saw bits and pieces of it, but I haven't watched the whole thing.
It was lackluster.
Yes. Okay. That's probably why I didn't get too much engaged into it.
It was, I mean, she came out, music, graphics. She looked like Sasha Banks, I guess, but a little bit weird to me. She came out in a kimono. She had like I don't know what was her hair. She had like some type of design on her hair.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Whoever did her hair, that was a good job.
I couldn't figure out what that was, like a peacock or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something to that degree, definitely.
But like, it was weird. It was like there's no big pop, nothing like that. She comes out, and with the Japanese people, have to understand with Japanese fans, they don't like pop super big. They're not like American fans. They're more
reserved. Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, she comes out. She does her promo, which was, again, it just like when there's no crowd like screaming, it just seems like a little bit awkward to me. A little bit it didn't hit. It didn't hit. And then she does her moves on Kairi Sane, drops her down and does her promo, and then she just gets like no reaction from the crowd. Okay, and it makes me think that like it makes me appreciate how much WWE can make a star. You know what I mean? Like you take Sasha Banks. I'm not gonna call her Monet. Okay, I'm just gonna call her Sasha Banks. She's the boss. You take Sasha Banks, you put her out there in WWE that with all the production that they do, the music, the graphics, pyro, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. She looks like a superstar. Okay. Then you put her in a different promotion, New Japan, and she doesn't look like anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
It'll be interesting to see if she appears on AEW and see if AEW has the same type of production value, which I don't think they do. But it'll be interesting.
No, they've got the lights and the pyrotechnics and all that too. They do pretty much the same thing.
I feel like it's different. It looks different to me. It looks like, I don't know. I think it has to do with the lighting, but there's a clear difference when you look at a WWE show versus like an AEW show. I think it's the lighting. It reminds me of WCW too.
I was going to say that. It does remind me of back of the WCW in the 90s.
Yeah, it looks a little bit more
like the black, the darkness of
like
it.
Faded or something like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But anyways, it makes me think that that WWE is what makes the big stars, right? So if you're collecting wrestling, how do you react when somebody gets released, or when somebody else is in a different promotion and you want to speculate if they go to WWE? Like, are you buying other promotions cards, or is it just WWE or nothing?
Well, for me, I buy it all. Mm-hmm. So it really doesn't matter, because I noticed actually that she has like her rookie card is from like 2011, 2012, some weird independent wrestling thing where she's called like Mercedes CV or something. Mm-hmm. And someone has one on eBay for like $3,000.
Interesting.
Because that's pretty much her first card. And that card has gone up a lot because everybody knows that's Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
And she'll have another name change. So this will be her like third name change if she stays with New Japan or goes to AEW. Mm-hmm. She'll have the Mercedes name. But I think any Sasha Banks cards will go up the same in value because they know that's her.
For me, I'm a WWE mark. So
I know you are.
For me, it's WWE or nothing. I'm not going to be buying any New Japan cards or AEW cards if she shows up there. The only exception to that would be people that are already in AEW that I would want. Mainly only MJF. Only MJF. That's the only card I would buy. Mainly his PMG when that comes out. But everything else is like, I only want WWE.
No Kenny Omega? Card. No Ricky Starks?
No.
What?
No.
Man, no. I almost Ricky Starks. No Jungle Boy?
No, come on, Jungle Boy, Ricky Starks, get out of here with those people, okay?
No, Ricky Starks is getting a huge push now. He just beat Jericho last week.
I don't like these dudes that are small. I don't like the cruiserweight size dudes. I'm old school.
I know you are, man.
I like giants.
You're like Vince.
Yeah, I want the big giant dudes out there.
Yeah, you want them all to be the size of Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I like
not Ricochet.
Yeah, like Wardlow. If I'm going to talk about somebody like in AEW, Wardlow, or just somebody that's really good.
And that's crazy because Wardlow just a few weeks ago lost. Yeah. He lost the TNT belt or whatever it is, and then he lost it, to try to get it back from Samoa Joe, and then got his hair shaved or whatever because he lost the match, and so he cut his little ponytail, and then the following week he goes against Darby Allin, and Darby wins the title from Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
and, Darby Allin was like weighs less than you and I do.
Darby Allin, he has my respect because he basically tries to kill himself in every match. So, but still, when I look at a guy like that, he doesn't look like a professional wrestler to me. You know what I mean? I want to see big dudes, fighting each other. There's only a few people that are like little skinny dudes like that, like Darby Allin, I would say like Ricochet, guys like that, I can respect just because their talent is just so far above everybody else.
I mean, Darby Allin's, he's so well received right now. He gets huge pops. Why is he so over for a little guy like that? I mean, and he's little. I mean, he's probably the smallest like wrestler there is.
Yeah.
Overall, from all the leagues.
Yeah. So I collect. I don't know. I just collect guys like that, and I like to see them in WWE. I like to have my sets match. My cards kind of match and be uniform.
Right.
The only exception to my personal rule here for collecting wrestling cards is vintage wrestling cards, because vintage I'll buy like different promotions, because back then there wasn't like one promotion that
they're all territories back then.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of random stuff. Like for me, I love like the Japanese Hulk Hogan cards, which are really cool, I think. So I would buy stuff like that. But for modern stuff, I just want WWE. So anyways, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if there's any wrestling collectors in the chat. Like, do you guys collect all type of wrestling cards, or do you only collect like specific promotion cards?
True.
Yeah.
So look what I got in the mail today.
Oh, beautiful.
That's the first auto too.
Is that numbered?
No, but it doesn't matter. It's her first auto.
Yeah.
So 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Someone posted one at a very cheap price, and I saw it brand new, and I had to buy it.
The Queen, Charlotte Flair.
Exactly. I know you love her.
She's my favorite, and she's back now.
And she's back.
Yeah. Okay, so let's transition from Sasha Banks. I want to talk about. We'll switch over to Star Wars. Okay. Over the weekend, I went to the premiere show. And I got to meet a gentleman, just randomly. I met Eric, the Pop Count, there.
Oh, Eric met you there?
Yes. And then there was another guy. He goes by John, I believe John, Sports Card Tycoon, I think is his Instagram. He is the person that purchased the Yoda on Dagobah Superfractor from Galaxy Series 1, PSA 10. And he brought it. It's just totally random. He brought it, and I ran into them, and he let me.
Oh, he's just walking around with it. He didn't buy it there. Yeah, he bought it like on eBay or something.
Total flex.
Okay.
No, he bought it from private sale.
Okay.
From the guy who pulled it. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, anyways, let me just give you guys some background on this, okay? If you guys don't know. So, a couple months ago, some lucky son of a bitch pulls the Yoda on Dagobah Superfractor from a box he ripped, I presume, right? And if you don't know, there's still a good amount of superfractors from Series 1 that have not been pulled yet. So it was not surprising that this guy pulled the Yoda. Anyways, he pulls it immediately. The Star Wars collecting community goes crazy. Everybody starts speculating. People start throwing out offers. Dude wants I don't know. He wants like $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 for this card.
Minute, that's way more than we've sold ours for.
And it's raw. It's raw at that point, right? But people, when they pull a superfractor, they throw out crazy numbers. Okay. Right. Don't blame me for that, but they do it. Okay.
It's all your fault, dude.
So anyways, different people entertaining offers, different rumors going back and forth. Oh, this guy bought it. This guy bought it. 26 Collectibles bought it. Star Wars Card Crazy guy bought it. Dan the Great Curator bought it. Right. All these rumors going around.
He's up to it.
Then we don't hear anything for a while. And generally, when you don't hear anything, it means a deal has been negotiated and they're just waiting to execute it, close the deal before something happens. So anyways, fast forward to now, the dude, I guess they graded the card. It came back. Then they closed the deal. Then this guy just happens to be from SoCal. So he comes to the show and he starts showing it off. And the card, I got to hold it in person, which was a privilege to hold that card in my hand. I've held many of the superfractors in my hand, to be honest. Like a lot of people always bring superfractors to me, and I might be the person. I might hold the record for holding the most superfractors from Series 1 in my hand. I swear. Okay, I probably held like 15 of them. Okay. Anyways, dude brings this superfractor, shows me it is it's beautiful. I gotta admit, it is beautiful.
Okay.
When you hold it, it's like, as a fan, you hold it in your hand and it's like you hear like angels singing and you hear like a light flashing down on it. I tried to capture that feeling in my Instagram post, if you guys saw that, as best I could, but that's what it's like. That's what it's like holding this card.
I want to feel that too.
And then I start talking to the guy, and he tells me, he discloses to me what he paid for it. He said that I could talk about it, so I'm not giving away any secrets here. Apparently, $25,000 cash trade value on that card. Okay, 17.5 in straight cash, and another 7.5 in trade value. Trade cards. I don't know what he traded for it, but that's what he got. Okay, so that's out there now. Okay, just the cash value by itself, bigger sale than the Kurosawa. The Kurosawa was 16.5 all cash total value, right? So now you got this Yoda, $25,000. Okay, total value. Private sale though, so whatever weight you want to give it to that. Okay, I'm just taking this guy's word for it that all this stuff is true. Who knows? All right. What does that do to the Star Wars Galaxy market, in your opinion? Okay.
What do I think it does?
Yes.
Well, it's going to make everybody put all those superfractors at super high prices.
Right. Okay. Once that information gets out there,
it's going to make a lot of the Star Wars collectible fans really angry at us.
Well, you can't blame me for that. I didn't do this. You got to blame these guys. You got to blame those guys, right? Okay.
I know, but I'm just saying that's what's going to happen, though.
I mean,
like Murphy's Law.
The Kurosawa is old news now.
It's definitely old news now. I mean, it's been it's been almost a year coming up.
Okay, so here's the question. The Kurosawa was widely regarded as the chase card from that set.
Definitely.
At that time, out of all the supers that were pulled, it was a chase card.
Yes.
It set the record sale.
I still
now
think
Yoda,
it is.
Now Yoda on Dagobah sells. Is Yoda on Dagobah the chase card now?
No.
Or is it at $25,000 in relation to where the market is today versus the Kurosawa? If the Kurosawa went on sale today, does it go higher than 25?
Yes.
How much higher? What do you think?
As much as someone's willing to pay for it, as long as how much they want it, for how badly they want it. Because it's a one of one. I mean, maybe that person just loved Yoda that much.
Yeah.
Or that artist. I don't know. I mean, there's all kinds of variables that decide these factors.
One thing I'll say about this guy, though, I don't know what he does. I don't know anything about him, but he had his family there, and he had his daughter who's a Star Wars collector.
Mm-hmm.
And he was kind of telling me like, oh yeah, she got me into collecting Star Wars and we do this together. And she was super excited about the card too. She's
how old was she?
I don't know, 12.
Okay.
Something like that. She was old enough to understand cards for sure. She's not like a little baby or anything, but I thought that was super cool how he was collecting with his daughter for this. So I don't think that this dude is necessarily all like I don't think he's gonna flip it, to be honest. Not anytime soon, based on what I saw. But like, what does that do to the value of all the other superfractors? I would agree.
But the thing is also, if this is on record, about this purchase, but does the rest of the card market know about this purchase?
Well, that's what we're doing right now. We're talking about it.
Yeah,
right?
we're talking about it only. So right now, the people who are watching the show know about it.
Yeah. So that's another thing. Like when there's a big sale like this, do you talk about it? Do you keep it like secret?
Of course, no. You talk about it.
Because it does impact the market. It's not a public sale like it's on eBay or anything,
right?
Like that. But I would argue that it does have an effect on the market. I mean, the Kurosawa sale was private. We made a video about it, but it was not on a.
And definitely, Daps made a video about it.
Yeah, it was not on eBay, and that did impact the market. So I would say that this sale will probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see what people do. I've already talked to some people that are upset about
this. I'm sure. You see what happened when we made that sell.
Yeah. Some people are like really happy about it. They're like, oh, this is great. This is going to boost up the value of my cards. This is great for the community. Some people are saying this is bullshit. That card should never be worth that type of money, and it's gonna ruin it for everybody. So there's different sides of the camp here to discuss. I personally I view cards as an investment. You buy, sell, and trade them. That's part of the hobby. So I love it. I love seeing sales like this. I think it should boost everything. Do I think the Yoda on Dagobah is the chase card? No. In comparison to the Kurosawa, no. I think the Kurosawa is better. If I had to value the Kurosawa today based off of that comp, I would say it should be at least 30% more, 20
Definitely.
to 30% more than that sale. That's how I would rationalize it in my head. I wouldn't put 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, whatever. I wouldn't do that. But I think that 20 to 30% would be a reasonable value above that sale would be a reasonable way to value that card today. And any other card in comparison, you would measure it against that.
No, I think even the Leap of Faith, whoever has that Superfractor is the other chase card. That's the one that's on the cover of the box.
Right. I think if Leap of Faith was pulled today and sold, I could see it going for like at least the same 25 or 30.
Do you know if anyone's pulled that or not?
No, nobody's seen that.
You know of, right?
Nobody's seen that. In fact, Daps and Eric, the Pop Count, they purchased my Galaxy case. I told you that last week.
Yes, I know
and
that.
And they ripped it today.
That's what the text was about.
But they did not pull anything. Okay.
Okay.
So they did not pull this.
They've opened up all the boxes already?
They ripped 9 of the 12.
Lord have mercy.
Because 3 people bought boxes, but they don't want them to rip it live. They want to rip it to them. So it could still be out there. It could still be out there, right? We don't know.
And now I'm seeing like the Superfractors for the new 22, like popping left and right. They're all over the place now. How come they're like all of a sudden they're like coming out of the woodwork out of nowhere? There's like, I feel like there's hundreds of them versus the Series 1.
I feel like a lot of people are ripping Series 2, which is awesome. We can talk. That's a separate topic.
So a lot more breakers than last time.
There's breakers, but I know a lot of people that are just collectors that are ripping it. I personally know at least, I think top of my head, like 3 people that just bought like 1 box.
Okay.
And they pulled a Superfractor.
Oh my gosh.
They're probably in this chat right now. If you're in this chat and you pull the Super, let us know. But I know because people have been DMing me. So it's not all breakers. In fact, I think that maybe Daps is the main guy who's doing all the breaking. I have not seen it on many other channels, to be honest.
Mama Breaks or anybody like that was opening
just a few people
as well.
Have you opened yours? You
no.
have boxes. See, that's another, I think a lot of people are holding on to boxes too. And I think that's what's happening with Series 1. I think that there's some dudes out there that are probably sitting on a bunch of cases at some point,
Well, good to know. I mean, if you have that Leap of Faith Superfractor coming from your case, oh boy.
I'm pretty sure our friend James has like a few cases. Yeah.
I'll have to talk to James when I see him Thursday.
So that's probably why a lot of Series 1 Supers haven't been pulled. Series 2, we're seeing a lot more of these Supers get pulled. And I think there are more Supers in there in that set.
There's got to be. There's got to be a lot more inserts and subsets.
Yeah. So so that's very interesting. But overall, I think the Star Wars market has definitely risen from this sale, which is good. Okay. I want to see everything grow, but I want to see it grow organically. You know what I mean? I don't want to see a card go from, $1,000 to $100,000 overnight, because that kind of growth is not sustainable. But seeing cards go for, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 16,000, 20,000, 25,000, that's more like a sustainable level of growth, where if you're the next person in line to buy a big card, you can kind of rationalize it in your head that this market has grown, organically versus being, propped up by one big sale. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I even noticed that the new series has reprints from the 96 Finest Star Wars too. And one of our friends, Advantage Sports, what's that?
At least one card.
At least one? Okay. And we know our friend bought one of them because he loves collecting. He just finished making the refractor set from 96.
Yeah.
And he was so excited. He was texting me the other night. So we were chatting along, and then you sent me that screenshot that someone had bought the one. And as soon as you sent that to me, that screenshot, and I saw that when I thought it was actually the 96 Darth Vader Finest. And then Steve said, I just bought that. That's the one I bought. And he was excited that he bought it. I was like, dang, Steve, you're going off on some Star Wars Finest cards.
The people are chasing. Yeah, people are definitely chasing this new set.
I wonder if that'll make that set hotter.
The 96 Finest?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great set, but the thing that works against it is that it was produced in the 90s, and it's probably highly overprinted, you know. But it is a great set for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, anyways, just to wrap up my thoughts on the Galaxy sale, the Yoda Superfractor, I think it's a good thing for the hobby. I want people to talk about it, but I want people to view it as like an organic sale, you know, and not speculate based off of that. I don't want people to go out there and spend $50,000 on the next Superfractor thinking that
they're gonna be able to double it,
that they can flip it, that they
flip
can
it and double it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. Okay.
No.
These things have to be like organically, you know, grown for the price. So, but I do think that helps all other Superfractors. I would put a premium on all Superfractors now that sale's out there.
Have you bought any Superfractors yet from the new series?
I have.
You have?
I just bought it. I binned one over the weekend.
You did what?
I binned. Buy it now.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah, off of eBay. I got the infamous Boba Fett Superfractor. It's all gold. It was up for like 10 seconds. It was up for like 5 minutes, and then I just bought it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I am a member of the 2022 Superfractor Club. I don't think that you are. You're still on the outside looking in.
I'll be on the hunt, man. Don't worry. Yeah. It's early.
Okay. It's early. They're getting scooped up, man.
So. And you're not going to be there this week, so you're not going to be able to steal my thunder this time, buddy.
Okay. All right. we have this inside joke. We give Merlin a hard time because he doesn't have a Superfractor because he sold all his Superfractors.
Oh mine, I know.
Yeah. While we're buying them, he's selling them.
Anyway. Hey, I'm the reason they're all hot right now. Because I started this fire this time last year.
Merlin's the biggest pumper
of them. I'm the first one who had the graded Chrome Galaxies available at the Dallas Card Show this time last year. Because you're the one who told me to bring all that stuff, and I did, and you saw me get wiped out.
Yep. And that's what started me on that path. So, if you really want to blame somebody, you got to go to the source of the supply chain.
We saw it happen.
Merlin.
It was just an experiment that ended up working. Let me tell you.
Yeah. So anyway,
and then we talked about it. We didn't pump it and then dump it. I didn't even talk about it, and I just brought it with me. Was hoping that people would bring it. I didn't advertise or anything, and people saw them and bought them right away.
Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't look like. Well, I would say aside from those supers, it does look like the prices are kind of evening out on some of these other refractors, the parallel refractors, which is a good thing. So it allows a lot of people to get in and start buying their cards. But definitely, I have not seen any of the interest fade on this new set.
And how many have you opened up boxes?
4.
And what was the coolest thing you pulled?
I pulled the best card. The lowest number card was a Mojo, the Sith Trooper Mojo Alpha card, 1 out of 50. But I already sold that card.
Already, wow.
Yeah. I sold a bunch of them. That's the best card I pulled. But I don't use that as a gauge because I'm not very lucky when it comes to pulling cards.
No.
Yeah, that's why I have to buy them because I can't pull any of these things myself. And then here's another thing. Daps and I guess a guy called Leighton Sports, which is another breaker, they put a $15,000 bounty on. No, not what is it Leighton or is it not Leighton Sports? David Adams, which is like a distributor. They put a $15,000 bounty on 2 different Superfractors, $15,000 each on 2 different Superfractors
from this new set.
Yeah, Lack of Faith, which is the Vader card. Lack of Faith.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. The Darth Vader one,
and then the Luke Assembles one.
Okay, that's where he's putting together a lightsaber or something.
Yeah. So if anybody pulls that, you got a $15,000 offer right there on the table.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Woo.
It's crazy stuff, man. But it's a lot of fun. I love seeing this type of activity. If you're not a Star Wars collector, you're outside and you're looking in, you probably think this is insanity. But if you're in it and you see, the excitement and you see the demand for this kind of stuff, then it's very cool experience for sure.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, moving on. Let's talk about.
I think something you posted on Instagram. And speaking of, since we do a lot of sales on eBay, especially I do, you were talking about on your Instagram. Would you rather? So can you tell us more about that?
Yeah. So on my Instagram, I sometimes like to pose like questions just to kind of get people to open a discussion, right? And somebody kind of said this in one of my comments, and it made me think a lot. So I posted this question. So when I was at the premiere show a month ago, or whatever, a couple weeks ago, with you and CV Sports Cards, Adrian, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember this dude walk up to the table and he said, like, he was like bragging, right? about all the cars that he got that day. I guess he's a dealer, he's a flipper.
Okay.
He was bragging like, "Oh yeah,
they're still flippers.
The market's soft right now, and I'm buying everything at 70%, and I love it. I'll buy anything at 70% comp, right?" Which is very typical. We've experienced this even when the market was really good. People try to buy cards at like 70% because they're going to flip it. They're going to turn around and flip it, right? That's what they do. And even some people pay for less. Like if you go to a card shop, they probably pay at 50%, 50 to 60% at a card shop or something like that. So this is not new, right? People have been doing this all the time. But then somebody told me, why would you sell something at 70%, right? When you could just sell it on eBay at 87%, because eBay charges a 13% fee on that,
Okay.
Assuming that they pay for shipping also, right? And that just kind of got me thinking, like, hey, that makes sense, because everybody always looks at eBay as like the worst thing ever. Nobody wants to give eBay any money. They don't want to pay any fees to eBay. They think
I don't understand that.
Right? But if you're selling it, and to some extent that's true, right? But if you're selling it based off of a comp that you pull off of eBay, doesn't it make sense to sell it at 87% versus selling it at 70%?
Mm-hmm.
And I got that's the question that I posed out there, and I got a ton of response from that. Some people were saying, well, of course that makes sense. Go with that. Some people say, no, it never makes any sense to sell on eBay. You should always sell in person, and because you build relationships, and if you sell in bulk, it's less work and you don't have to deal with returns or anything like that, right? So it was very, very interesting comments that I got from that. And I don't know. I feel like it kind of depends. The basic summary of all the comments that I got on it was, it depends. It depends if you're selling a single card versus selling a bulk lot, because you have to value your time, right? And your effort involves. It depends if you're trying to avoid paying taxes, if you're trying to avoid dealing with the hassles of returns, because that happens sometimes,
Rarely, though.
Yeah, it depends if you're selling a rare card versus a common card, things like that. But it was definitely a good discussion that we had over that, dude. So what are your thoughts? Because you do both.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. I mean, I think a sell's a sell. If you're making a good profit, then I wouldn't complain. And if you're using a platform like on the internet, yeah, you're gonna have to pay some money, but it's a lot easier. There's less hustle compared to doing a live show. You don't have to do the talk, and the transactions are easy peasy. I don't really rarely do I ever have a card returned back to me. And I don't care, paying taxes and all this stuff and everything. It's because I've made money. Mm-hmm. And I itemize, and I do all my organization for my tax years, and that's it. And I feel like if you made a profit, then that's a good profit.
Yeah, I would say from my own experience, a year ago when it was very easy to sell cards at a show,
True.
It makes sense. That's why
yes.
I got off.
This time last year, yes, you're right.
When I got back into the hobby, I was primarily selling on eBay, and then I discovered that if I went to card shows, I didn't have to deal with fees and shipping and returns. So I went to card shows. Mm-hmm. And then over the last year, the card show scene has slowed down dramatically. So now it sometimes it makes sense. In fact, in this situation, it does make sense to go back to eBay and sell versus trying to sell a card show when people are trying to beat you up and selling at 70%. To clarify though, I never sell at 70%. I unless somebody was buying out my entire table and I had the margins and I was still making money and I said, fuck it, I don't want to deal with it anymore. I would never ever sell at 70% or even 80%. I just don't play that game. I'm not that type of guy. But we know a lot of people who do. And we know a lot of people that sell at 70, 80%, and we know a lot of people that buy at 70, 80%. You know, it's very common in the hobby that way because people are working on margins, right? You buy it at 70%, you sell it at 90% or 95. Okay. And that used to be very easy to do, but now because comps can change dramatically week to week, you could buy it at 70%, but suddenly a week goes by and you actually bought it based on a new comp. You actually bought it at 80%, you know, or less or something like that. So I just don't play that game. But I think it depends. You know, I wouldn't do it for like small transactions or single cards, but for like a bulk deal, maybe it makes sense to do that.
A bulk deal would definitely be better.
Yeah,
better option.
Yeah, if you guys are eBay sellers in the comment section, give us your thoughts on that. You know, we'll get to your comments pretty soon. Okay. Before I talk about my upcoming trip, anything you want to talk about for like on your mind or mail days or anything you want to show off?
When they showed you that one, I got this too. I picked up. I've been buying some soccer. In my buys right now are definitely with Erling Haaland. So I've got this new Erling Haaland PSA 10 I bought. Came in the mail yesterday.
Nice.
So I am buying up Erling Haaland all I can because he's the next Messi, Ronaldo, with him and Mbappe, or the future of soccer.
Right. Awesome. I want to get a couple Haaland cards too.
And I want to buy some auto Haalands too. Leafs are making some autos for Haaland right now, 2022. Yeah. So I want to get some of those. Vinicius Jr., I want to buy some autos of his. I'd like to save up and buy an Mbappe auto.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not going to go full into soccer. I'm not going to become Sunday League investor. But I might buy like 2 to 5, high end refractor rookie cards or something like that. I don't know.
Or some vintage. Have you sold your Sad Pele yet?
No. It's on the market. I'm not in a hurry to sell it, but it's on the market. I have retired Sad Pele, so I'm not going to do that meme since he passed away. Out of respect for Pele.
Okay, really?
Yes. So, but it's available if anybody wants a Sad Pele. It's available. Speaking of this, real quick here, this is a little bit off topic, but I want to talk about it.
What is it?
So, since we're talking about soccer, it reminded me of our friend Brian, Sunday League Investor. He posted a video today showing off a F1 card.
Oh, I saw that. Yes.
That was also the hot topic of card porn. Okay.
Why?
So, and apparently this Lewis Hamilton F1 card, which was like a 1 of 1, it's like a pink refractor. They call it, it has like some weird name. I can't even pronounce it, but it's like a pink refractor, and it was a 1 of 1 that was sold at auction for like $740,000. Okay, which is insane. Okay. Anyways, apparently this 1 of 1 card, which was a stamped 1 of 1 numbered card.
Okay.
They made a duplicate that came out of Topps, which is like a sample card. They made a sample duplicate that was not numbered, was not stamped, but it's the same card, same color, everything. And apparently these things are showing up now, and they're calling it, like, I don't know who made up this name. They're calling it backdoor, like a backdoor card.
Backdoor card. Wow.
It's not a reprint. It's not a fake. They're calling it a backdoor card. I don't know who made that term up. Okay?
Backdoor. That's crazy.
Yeah. So the big debate now going on with that is a 1 of 1 really valuable if there's a backdoor version of it? Like, what is going on here? So I don't know. I saw that. I thought that was pretty crazy. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that, because if it can happen with that card, it can happen with a lot of different cards.
Mm-hmm.
If it's made by Topps, I don't know. So anyway,
that's scary.
Okay, so if anybody knows anything about that, put it in the comments. Okay, last topic I'm going to talk about, and then we're going to get to our comment section here. We got a lot of comments.
Yes, we do.
We got a lot of people in the chat right now, so thank you for all our.
We have a lot of people today.
We were just talking about this. It's like every week we get the same amount of regulars, like 50 plus people in here chatting.
Yeah.
So we we definitely appreciate the support, and we recognize all these names. So we will get to all your comments, I promise.
Yes,
okay.
We will.
So we've been kind of talking about this a little bit, but I want to talk about a little bit more. Officially announced that I am planning a trip to Asia to go treasure hunting. And we're going to leave in a couple weeks. We're going to go
for gold.
And I'm super excited about that. I'm planning a trip to Japan and Korea and Thailand. And I'm going to be hunting in Japan. Japan is what I'm most excited about.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because
toys and cards.
Yes, I'm going to be hunting for toys out there, vintage, like Japanese toys, robots, Transformers, things like that. But what I'm really looking for is wrestling hobby stuff, wrestling cards, wrestling toys. Particularly, I'm hunting for like vintage Hulk Hogan stuff if I can find it out there. So if anybody knows any hot spots,
if you do, I'll be so jealous.
Yeah, if anybody knows any hot spots in Japan, let me know. I'm very excited about that. I will be making a ton of content, which I will be sharing with you guys during that time. For Korea, you know what I'm hunting in Korea?
What?
K-pop cards. I'm going to be bringing back Korean pop cards. So if anybody knows any hookups for that in Korea, let me know. But I think that's going to be very interesting if I can find those.
For some Blackpink, they're headlining Coachella this year.
Yes. I'm only buying. I'm going out there to buy, guys. And I'm bringing the stuff back to the States, to America, for you guys to enjoy it and purchase it and things like that. So I think that would be really cool. So more information about that coming later. But while I'm gone, we still have a couple weeks to do some more shows. So I'm not leaving yet. But
you'll be here next week.
Yeah, while I'm gone, I will be taking what I call a sabbatical from between two slabs.
Can you believe it?
And Merlin, you are tasked with holding it down. Okay.
Yes, we're gonna have some celebrity guest host.
You have to maintain our viewership engagement level. Okay. If I come back and there's 10 people in the chat, we're gonna have to have a discussion, okay?
I can get more than 10 people just on my own, buddy.
So it better be higher, okay? It will be like 20%. Better be 80 people by the time we come back, but you will be having guest speakers.
Do you know how many people want to take your spot, Dan?
Yes. All right. I'll be out of a job.
I've got a wait list going on right now, brother.
I'll be out of a job when I come back, but you will have a special guest host.
I will. Yes. So how many shows will you be missing, do you think?
We'll see. I don't know. It depends. 4 or 5, something like that.
One-way flight there?
We'll see. You know.
I thought you were going to go to Thailand and trying to become a monk.
I'm going to retire. I'm going to get a
palatial doesn't want you to become a monk because that's kind of a Thai tradition.
I'm going to get a palatial estate when I get out there because the dollar goes out. The dollar is very strong right now. So
good.
Who knows? I might not come back. We'll see. But do you want to announce any? Have you locked in any of these special guests?
No, we'll do it next week.
Okay. So if you guys want to be a special guest, if anybody out there wants to be a special guest, contact Merlin. Okay.
But I think we got some big guests though coming up. Some big ones. I mean, big.
I'm excited for that. Okay, because I'll be watching.
It's got to be big. The Stroke Dan's ego. He needs a big name to replace him.
They'll be big. Hey, they can be big, but not too big. Okay, they can't be bigger than me. All right.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. That's the criteria. Okay. So with that, I don't have any mail days. I haven't been buying anything.
You saw mine, so I already did it pretty much.
I've been buying toys, but I'm not going to show you guys that. So that's about it. So let's get to some of these comments here.
Let's do it. Andrew, what a week for wrestling. Vince McMahon is back. Ugh. Stephanie McMahon stepped down. Boo. And WWE probably on the market to be sold to highest bidder. Wow. I don't, like we said before, I don't like that much, but do you, Dan?
To sell WWE?
Everything Andrew just said in that comment.
I mean, I don't mind Vince being back, as long as they keep building on the momentum that they're doing, right?
Okay.
I don't want them to just go back to doing crazy stuff. So I think that if he comes back on the business side, I'm okay with that. If they sell WWE, I think that would be kind of sad because it's supposed to be a family business. You know what I mean?
Right. And the family's doing well. I'm like, why fix something that's not broken?
Yeah. If I was his family, if I was Stephanie and I'm drawing a blank.
It was Triple H or Shane.
Shane, yeah. So Stephanie, Shane, and Triple H. I would put together an investment group. I know that they don't have the money to buy everything, right? They don't have the money to buy the whole thing, but they probably have enough money to put together an investment group and get a loan and buy the whole thing. They should just do it, right? Because it's like you'll never have that type of crazy opportunity ever again in your life. And I think they belong in that company. And who knows? They probably want to pass it down to their kids at some point. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah. And if they bought it, I wonder if they bought it, then WWE would become a private company. I think if that would happen, right? So they bought it, and then they could just do whatever they want. And I think that it would be a great time for wrestling.
Yeah. Hopefully that has. I mean, I've already seen some YouTube videos already speculating like, is Vince going to fire Triple H?
We'll see.
I'm like, please don't. That's going to ruin it all. Go back to Andrew. I think he just said something. Oh yeah. Also, Sasha Banks could hopefully be making her AE debut tomorrow night at the Staples Center. It's actually at the Forum in LA, California. It's at the Forum, and I'm looking for last-minute tickets. Anybody has any last-minute tickets for sale? Want to sell to me? Hit me up on Instagram. Otherwise, I'm looking on StubHub and Vivid Seats.
Get this man a ticket. Get this man a ticket.
And I don't want nosebleed either. Okay. They're like $50. I'd like to get like in the first 2 rows.
Get him a ticket so that he can wear Between Two Slabs t-shirt on AEW.
Oh, is that what you want me to do tomorrow if I go?
Yes.
But I think it's going to be a really good one. And I have an early flight on Thursday to Dallas. So, and luckily, since AEW is live, it doesn't start till 4 o'clock here in LA. Or 5 o'clock, live, because they do the dark matches first at 4, and then 5 it goes live, and it's over by 8 o'clock. Ed, what's up, Ed? Evening, fellas from Houston, H-Town. Hope I see you on Dallas this weekend. Andrew, question for Dan and Merle: is it too late to be a buyer, serious investor in Star Wars, Marvel cards, or is this something like a blue chip stock, which should keep having steady growth over time?
Personally, I don't think it's too late at all. Okay, no. But they're two different. They're Star Wars and Marvel are in different places in their investment cycle. So Marvel cards started off low, then they had a really, really high rise due to the PMG market, and then they had a steep correction because of that. So whenever you're looking at any type of investment, guys, I'm speaking in generalities here. Okay, general terms. Okay. Usually when something grows steadily, like let's just say 5%, 10% over a period of time, okay, that's a good sign, okay, because the growth is organic. It's based off of real demand. When you see something go from like 0 to 1,000% return, okay, in a very short period of time, it's usually due to like speculation, okay, and then there's always going to be a steep correction after that. So I think that's what happened with Marvel. So if you look at Marvel from that perspective, then, you could say that the prices have come down to where they should be based off of the market demand. So I would say, yes, if you think that Marvel cards are still popular and that people are going to be buying Marvel cards in the future, which I believe myself, then yes, you can get in at this point. Okay. And just be patient. Star Wars cards, different scenario, because Star Wars cards have not jumped up astronomically like Marvel did. Okay, they've been growing steadily through the last year or so. So do they have room to grow? Yes, I believe so. And I think that you'll see more of a growth with Star Wars cards over Marvel cards, because Star Wars cards are still very popular right now and they're still growing. Okay, but just understand that you got to be buying you got to apply the same principles that you do with like sports cards to these cards too. You got to buy rare cards, low numbered cards, desirable characters, from desirable sets, things like that. Don't be buying Book of Boba Fett cards. Okay. Don't be buying,
Boba Fett.
over Galaxy. There's just a couple sets out there that are very popular. In Star Wars, to me, it's Galaxy or nothing. You could buy other sets for fun, to just kind of like, scratch the itch, but if you're looking at it as investment, don't be buying anything except Galaxy.
Unless they're like autograph cards.
Even autograph cards, they have to come from a good set.
True. But like Masterworks is a good set for those.
Yeah, depends. It depends on the actor and the numbered cards. Okay. Yeah. So look for that with Marvel. Really, Marvel, the only investment grade cards from Marvel right now, I would say, are PMGs. Even though that PMGs were very controversial and they took a steep hit, they're still they're still like the top cards that people chase.
And that's from the Metal universe, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, so hopefully that answers your questions.
Global sports card investor. Good day there, legends. Welcome from Australia, brother. Emmanuel, yes, another episode. Glad you're tuning in. Andrew, Dan, should we get more wrestler cameos just to troll the haters?
I might. I've got a couple that I'm,
He's got some good ones.
I've got a couple that I'm thinking about, but the thing with the cameos, I did a couple different ones. And sometimes they look good. Like Bret Hart, it's hard to beat Bret Hart's cameo. He knocked it out of the park. Okay. Everything else after that just seems kind of like, it's not worth sharing. It's cool for me, but it's not worth sharing out there. But who knows? I love it. I like the cameo app a lot. So I'll try to do that.
Got one that I love, but he hates so much.
I got
even allowed to talk about it.
I got some wrestlers, and they didn't do the cameos for me. So like sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. Like I tried to get Booker T, but he wouldn't do the cameo for whatever reason. It just expired.
Really?
I tried to get Sasha Banks, but it also expired. So weird. I guess if they're too busy, they just don't do it. You know what I mean?
So you just get your money refunded back, right?
Yeah, because you get 7 days. So you place the order, and they have 7 days to do it. If they don't do it within 7 days, it refunds automatically. I tried to do Sergeant Slaughter, and I couldn't get him.
But they all have cameos. Profiles.
Yeah. They're up there. They have profiles, but I don't know if they're active or not.
How much was like a Sergeant Slaughter one?
Like $200, something like that.
That 200?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how much money did you spend on cameos, Dan?
A lot. A lot. Yeah, no, but I did a Black there was a Black Friday special there, so they're like 30% off.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so I'm waiting. So if you guys want a cameo, just wait for like a sale. They do it every once in a while. And it's just a cool little gift to get yourself. So anyways,
oh my God, that's hilarious. Ed, most asked question for Merlin at Dallas. Where's Dan? That's question times 20. Yes, I'm going to hear a lot of that. I know this weekend.
Yeah.
Where is Dan? I'm going to tell him he retired. He gave up.
Tell him I quit. Tell him I quit. Tell him I lost so much money I quit.
He was tired of all the trolls.
Yeah. Tell him I started collecting comic books.
Just meet him at Comic-Con now. Yeah. UFC superfan. Hello. How do you guys track all of your sales, different platforms, inventory? I'm looking to get organized for taxes next year.
I'm old school. I just use an Excel spreadsheet. I'm old school.
Me too.
Yeah.
Whatever the one is for Google. What is that? Google Sheets or whatever, or Google Numbers.
There's probably a better platform to do it, but I just do it that way. But now that you just bring that up, that could be like $1 million idea. If anybody knows how to build some type of app or platform that would make it easy for us to do it, something like that would work. I know there's some people trying to do that, like Magpie was trying to do something like that. I haven't heard from them in a while.
Right.
But could be a thing.
CD Sports Cards. Adrian, what's up, dudes? Merlin, how was the game? I missed it all. Family time. It was raining too hard yesterday, Adrian. I didn't make it over to Burbank. Plus, my buddy who was hosting it got COVID again for the second time in a year. So I didn't feel like going across, over the hill to Burbank to watch the game. And if anybody watched the game, Georgia versus TCU, it wasn't much of a game. I think it ended up being like 69-7. Dan, did you watch it? Do you even watch college football?
No.
It wasn't much of a game. Georgia won. It wasn't even close. James Esslinger, I collect vintage wrestling. I want to buy more vintage wrestling, definitely.
I just bought 2 vintage wrestling things. They're not cards, but they're magazines. So I'm excited to share it when they get here. So maybe by next week I'll have something to share with you guys for Mail Day.
Ooh, can't wait. Andrew, some of the AEW wrestlers came over from WWE, so their fans still are with them. But I get where Dan is coming from. The visual presentation is different between the two companies. Yeah, man, you can tell they have way more money.
It feels like the WWE product is like more. The lighting is different. I don't know how to explain.
No, it is. No, the lighting is different. No, they have a certain look. I mean, do you even know that for even TV shows, networks have a different? They all have different looks.
Yeah, and
like you can tell it's a CBS show or an NBC show or an ABC show,
right?
And they have like rules or whatever regulations of how like they have to shoot it like camera wise and things like that. The lighting is different. But they have a Bible for this.
I feel like WWE just seems more of a production than all these other shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right? Maybe that's.
But AEW changed their look last week. They just revamped the look.
Okay.
Did you not know that?
No.
And they made sure that Dynamite and Rampage look different now. Carlos, Dan, that Star Wars cruise experience looked like a blast. Thanks for sharing. It did. He looked like a great time.
I did drop my Star Wars vlog finally last week. I didn't get really good footage, so I had to do like a voiceover over it, but I tried to put it together as best as I could, so to kind of show you guys what I was doing out there. So it was a lot of fun. Highly recommend it.
Carlos, I can see paying that much for Star Wars memorabilia signed by Frank Oz. Yoda is king. Yes, Frank Oz would be a good one because, he worked for the Muppets. He was Fozzie Bear, and he was also the voice of Yoda, the original Yoda. And he's not alive anymore, so getting an autograph from him is impossible. Joe Champagne, agree with vintage wrestling cards. Going to focus on 82 Wrestling All-Stars and back. Looking a lot at a mid-70s Andre Giant and 20s and 30 stars like George Hackenschmidt and Frank Gotch. Thoughts? Dude, you're right on it, man. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, I think vintage wrestling is definitely a very, very good place to kind of focus on. I probably wouldn't go back to the 20s and 30s, but Andre the Giant,
likes it,
1973 to 1982, I think that's the sweet spot.
Yeah, but like maybe some like Gorgeous George or Buddy Rogers cards could be, worth something too in the 50s. Jordan, what's up, Jordan? Am I going to see you this weekend in Dallas, Jordan? That Kurosawa 101 is worth $34,000 today. How'd you come over that number, brother?
I would say so. I would say like that's probably about 30% above 25,000. So he's not.
That's doubled in price. Doubled in price, right? Carlos, Osaka miniseries 23. Yep, no specific date yet. Osaka cards were up a few months ago. I think that's a great investment. I still think they're underpriced, in my opinion. Mike Alea, are you glancing over the fact that the Yoda was a PSA 10 versus the Jedi being a PSA 9 as a reason behind the price difference, or you think it doesn't matter with superfractors? In this case, I don't think it really matters.
I posed this question on my Instagram too. This was another thought-provoking question, and I got a lot of different answers on this too. But I would say the general answer that I got was that grades with superfractors don't matter.
No.
Okay, unless it's totally trash. But like, let's just say between an 8, 9, and 10, they don't really matter. But if you do get a 10, you can ask a premium for that. Okay, but it's not. It's like it's a secondary factor to the value. So for me personally, I am of the mindset that honestly, I don't care if it's an 8, 9, 10. I don't care on the grading because grading is so subjective, anyways, guys. To be honest. So
man, it's a pop one. It's always going to be a pop one.
It's a pop one card. It's a superfractor. I don't really care about that stuff, but some people do. So I do acknowledge that some people will put like a premium on a 10, but really, guys, it's like who cares? It doesn't really matter. All that matters is the person who's buying it, how they can justify the amount of money in their mind to buy that, right? If you're that dude and you're going to spend $25,000 of total value on that card, how can you justify it in your mind to do that so that you don't feel like you're an idiot? Okay. And that's what they do. They say, okay, it's Yoda on Dagobah. Yoda's a main character. Okay. Yoda's a GOAT character in the hobby. Okay. It's got a lot of gold on the card, so the eye appeal is beautiful. Okay. It's from a great set, and the Kurosawa sold for $16,500, so it's from that same set. Okay. It's a PSA 10. Okay. $25,000, that's reasonable. Boom, done. But really, if we really look at it, it's like the dude who got it said, okay, this is my number. I want 25 for it. Okay. And I'm going to give it to the first person who steps up to pay that much money. And the guy who stepped up, he's probably like thinking, okay, if I can step up and get it, then I get something that I really want.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously can afford it. If I'm paying that money, I can afford it. I'm going to pay for it because I don't want anybody else to get it. You know,
mm-hmm.
that card sold within a matter of weeks. It was not like it did not sit there for a year. So it's just, honestly, I just think it's just a way for somebody to justify it in their mind, but it doesn't really matter to me.
Okay. And wasn't there it wasn't Star Wars, but say it was F1 that there was a superfractor of Lewis Hamilton, and I think it was a PSA 7, and still it went for like a record amount, correct?
That is true. That superfractor of Hamilton, because that sold the day that the Kurosawa sold.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it did.
Yeah, I think it was like $930,000.
Almost $1 million.
Something crazy like that. That card sold. So yeah, it's like I've had this debate with people too. A card is only worth whatever somebody's willing to pay for it. It's not like there's no set value on the card. Like if you have a card, and that doesn't mean that card is worth that much money because it's so subjective. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you got to find the right buyer willing to pay up for it. It's not like liquid. You can't go into a grocery store, you can't go into a bank and take a loan on that card saying it's worth this much. It's all subjective. Right. For these rare cards. Okay, for common cards, that's a different debate. But for rare cards, superfractors, it's just like it's up to whatever somebody's willing to pay for it. Okay, that Yoda on Dagobah, if that was a PSA 9, I think it would have still went for that much money.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Who we got next? Andrew again. Is the Star Wars cards dependent on the prices, validity of sports cards, or are they two completely different markets?
Good question. They're completely different markets, but they are tied together. Okay, they are tied together.
Now they are, yeah.
And here's a good example. Okay, so I have on the Market Movers app. Okay, I'm working with the guys at the Market Mover app. My BFF Jeff Wilson. Okay, he allowed me to create a Star Wars index, which is my 50 top cards of Star Wars, modern cards of Star Wars, and it tracks it. And what I've been doing on that index is I've been kind of playing around with it. Is I've been comparing my Star Wars index versus the top 50 sports cards index or top 50 baseball, basketball, and they trend together. Meaning that if you look at it over the last 90 days, sports cards are down like 10%. I'm just making numbers up here.
Okay.
Sports cards will be down 10%. Star Wars cards will also be down, but maybe in a smaller amount, like 5%. And then if they go up, if sports cards are up 10%, Star Wars might be up, in a smaller volatility space. They might be up 5%. So they do trend together, but they're not necessarily dependent on each other because they're different markets. I think that there are crossover buyers, people who buy sports cards and buy Star Wars cards, but Star Wars is still has a very much dedicated collector buyer base on it.
Agree. Definitely. EJB Tube, buying Star Wars Galaxy Atomic Refractors left and right. Love the artwork. Can't afford the superfractors though.
Very awesome.
Awesome,
Very
man.
Awesome. I love the Atomics.
I know, right? That's kind of like the cracked ice, right? Of their version of Topps.
Yeah.
Pokey Holo Sports. Is anyone going to Super Nintendo Land at Universal Studios Hollywood? Has that opened up yet?
February.
So next month.
Yeah. I'll go. I'm going to go.
I live like 20 minutes away.
We should go together.
Yeah, well, let's go. I live. It's right up the street from me.
Yeah. We should do it between Two Slabs live from Nintendo World.
I'll do it.
Yes.
Adrian again, CV Sports Cards. eBay is the best. 300 million Americans and 6 billion people have access to it. You can always wheel and deal on eBay. Been doing it since 2007 and only say good things about eBay.
I agree. I think eBay is still the king. And the more, this might be a little bit controversial. Actually, no, I don't want to say it. I'm going to get too much heat saying it. I'll just say that eBay is a great place to sell because of the amount of eyeballs that you get on that market. And here's a tip for you guys too. even if I like to buy things that are like buy it now or best offer, and I always like to shoot an offer and try to tenderize people that way. But even if they don't have a best offer option, don't be afraid to email the guy and be like, hey, will you take this? And then they can send you a special offer. I just did it today. The guy had this wrestling magazine for $250. I said, hey, would you take $150 for it? He came back at $200. Boom, done deal. So you can still get good deals that way. Okay, Poke Hollow Sports. You don't have to read this comment, but we did get to this question already here.
Oh, yes. Oh, February the 17th. Can't wait. Yes. Hopefully it doesn't rain, but I can't wait to see it. Is it like the same one that I've seen the videos that you told us to look at on YouTube?
So. It should be.
It is. Okay. Marvel Madness, MCU, our Marvel buddy. I'm pro eBay as I sell on there, and people don't try to get a friend deal or show deal, laughing out loud, or a flip deal.
That's true. It's a different beast. Like when we do shows, people are always trying to tenderize you and trying to get deals from you at shows. So it's just it's different. And I think that you can go back and forth. I'm using my own example. At first, I was all about eBay. Then I went to shows, and I was all about shows. Now I'm going back to eBay, and I'm selling primarily on eBay. I've sold more things on eBay than I have sold at shows in the last 2 months, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And
I had a good week last week, Dan. I had a really good week on eBay.
I'm surprised too. I've been selling stuff on eBay too. It's interesting. It's very interesting. That'll be a whole different episode that we'll have to talk about. But at some point, maybe it'll go back to selling all at shows, guys. So just use whatever tool you can. Okay. Sell on whatever platform you can sell. My Slabs, eBay, auction houses, other auction houses, at shows, on Instagram, on Facebook. Do whatever you can to sell your cards, guys. But eBay is definitely a great resource.
Yeah, I sold a lot of, believe it or not, Nikola Jokic rookie cards, PSA 10s, and even the 9s. I sold out of them all pretty much. It's a good week. Marvel Madness, MCU. My question is this. When is Between Two Slabs and Marvel Brothers and Friends doing a joint together? Soon, brother. Right?
I think he's throwing his hat in the ring to be a guest host.
Yeah, we're probably going to have you sometime soon. Pig 76, Providence. Ownership history is massively overlooked.
That is true. I don't know what topic he's talking about, but my Canadian came out. Sorry about that. I didn't do that on purpose, I swear. But I guess Providence does matter sometimes. Like, to me, not so much unless it was like somebody I really admired. Like if I could own, I don't know, if I could own a wrestling card that was once owned by Hulk Hogan or something like that, I think that'd be really cool. But it's not like it's my main factor for searching for stuff.
Culture Shock Collectibles. What's up, guys? What's up, Culture Shock? EJB Tube, would love to see what you find in Japan of vintage Voltron. Oh my gosh, excited. I used to love Voltron as a kid.
I'm excited. I'm purposely going out there with the intention to buy as much as I can, as much cool stuff as I can when I'm out there.
Do you even know what Voltron was?
Of course I know Voltron.
Okay, I don't know.
Who are you talking to here? Of course I know Voltron.
I loved it as a kid. Actually, I had those big ones too. Those big Voltron robots that are worth tons of money now and don't have them anymore. Marvel Madness MCU. Marvel is a baby still long term.
Very true. Very true. It just became popular last year, and it still has a lot of room to grow in my mind. Despite what all those trolls say, okay?
And the MCU isn't going away anytime soon. That's for sure. Carlos, thanks again for the great content, guys. Thank you, Carlos.
Let's see here.
Let's see. Mark the Collector. Sup, guys? Can't wait for the Royal Rumble. Neither can we. We will be. Well, Dan, you're gonna watch it on the other side of the world.
Yeah. I will have my iPad with me, so I'll be able to watch it. Probably not live, but I'll catch it on a replay.
You're gonna watch it regardless. Can't wait. I'll be here. It's pretty much like a week before Super Bowl too. Just can't wait. Axel C. What's up, Axel? On the topic of signed memorabilia, you can now find my Messi signed debut ticket on eBay. Hurts to sell, but taking advantage of this moment. And how much is it? A set price, or is he having it on auction, or what? How much is it for?
Hey, you can't. I mean, you're not going to have a better opportunity to sell that after he won the World Cup than you do now, unless he wins the World Cup again, which
that's not. He says he's not going to do that,
or he dies,
40 years old,
or he dies, which is unlikely also. So now's the time.
Oh God, don't say that. That's horrible.
Knock on wood. Now's the time to cash out, and it's never bad to take profit, guys. In the hobby, it is never bad to take profit.
I'm sure he'll be able to buy other Messis with it. JR Jr. Happy New Year. When you send cards to PSA and they upcharge you on a card, is that because the card got a high grade? Dude, I thought so one time. I got my Mahomes rookie, 2017 stained glass, and they did that to me. And I noticed that the only card that was what's that, like $5,000 is the next tier. And I thought I saw, $5,000. That was a PSA 9, and it came back a PSA 8. And the PSA 8 was not valued at that price. The last sale was not valued, and they upcharged me. I was so livid, Dan.
I don't think anything makes sense, to be honest. Like they've done that to me too, and you can't argue with them. They just say, whatever. It's just whoever is in charge of that. It's just a matter if they do the research and they feel like they want to charge you or not. It's completely up to them. They have all the power.
Yeah, so they charged me for a PSA 9 card, and it came back a PSA 8.
Yeah, so
it ruined all my hopes and dreams.
Yeah, you just kind of have to take it. I mean, PSA they definitely have all the leverage when it comes to that.
Yep. Vintage Lord Canada. Don't make fun of us Canadians.
I would never vintage.
That's Lord. All Dan does now.
much love for all my friends in Canada, but for my enemies in Canada, no.
Oh Lordy,
not you. No love for you guys.
Andrew, Japan is goated. Pokemon centers, Sega towers, Nintendo headquarters, the Nintendo museum. Whoa, a Nintendo museum, Dan. Hope you have a great time there. It should be fun. You think you'll do all that?
I'm definitely going to try to get into the Pokemon Center.
Okay.
You know what I'm super excited about is going to different themed cafes. So Japan has like a really big cafe culture where they have like different themes. So I'll be going to like the Harry Potter cafe, which will be really cool. Pokemon cafe, if I can get a reservation. There's like a pig cafe where you can play with little pigs. So all sorts of cool stuff. Doraemon cafe. My wife really loves Doraemon, and so all that stuff. I'm also now that we're talking about this, I'm also looking for a particular character that I can almost guarantee nobody in the chat will understand this, but there's a character in Japan that I really love. His name is Anpan Man. You ever heard of him?
What's it called?
Anpan Man.
Anpan Man?
Yeah, Anpan Man. Let me grab something here.
I don't think so. I have to see it.
Okay. Anpan Man. He is a little Japanese character from a kid's show. I don't know. Don't ask me why I love this character, but I really do. This is him right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've seen that character.
Okay. His name is Anpan Man. He's a superhero with his head is made of red bean curd, and he's a superhero.
Oh, it is? That's red bean curd.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So just here's another one here. And this stuff is extremely hard to find in America. You can't find it.
He's got like red cheeks and a red nose, and it looks the same.
So the story behind this guy is basically his dad is a baker, and his dad was, I guess, lonely or something, and his dad made him like
Pinocchio. Kind of like Pinocchio.
Yes, but his dad baked him, so his head is made of red. His head is a red bean, whatever you call it.
It's like sweet pastry then.
Yeah, like a red bean donut. Okay, his head is red bean donut, those. And he has like super strength and superpowers, and he flies around and he helps people. And what he does is he fly around and he'll fight evil people, things like that. But also, this is what I think is so funny about this character. If he sees like an animal laying down that's like starving, right? They're about to die. He'll fly down to where the animal is and he'll say, okay, you can take a bite of my head, and they'll bite his head. His head is made of red bean. So he feeds, malnourished animals in the forest. And as they start eating his head, he gets weaker. So he has to fly back home, and then his dad will
rebake it.
Rebake his head. But I just think it's so funny. There's a cartoon that you can watch on YouTube. It's all in Japanese.
Oh my gosh.
But
the Japanese or something.
I'm looking for this stuff when I get back. And this will be my next pump, guys. I'm telling you. Anpan Man is going to be my next pump.
Anpan Man. AKA Red Bean Man. Red Bean Curd Man.
Yes. My wife is looking for Doraemon stuff. She loves Doraemon. And I'm going to be looking for Anpan Man stuff. And there's like Anpan Man cafes and stores that I'm going to go out there. So
it's going to eat one of the pastries.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun. Oh yeah, you'll see it. I'm super excited to show you guys all sorts of content when I get out there. It will be hobby related stuff, but it'll be like food stuff, travel stuff. It's going to be a great time.
Nice.
Let's see here.
Axel C, I have it on Ben at a premium price since it's the best condition debut sign, but accepting offers at 50% or lower even. Whoa. Have to check it out.
Yeah, so if you guys want to check it out, Axel, if you want to put your eBay name in there, if you guys anybody want to check it out, you can see it.
I was going to ask him the same.
Yeah.
From the bench, Curator goes to the expo once and declares us his arch enemies. What's he referencing?
Canadians.
Oh yeah, with the expo.
No, I have much love
from the benches from Canada as well.
I have much love for most Canadians, but the ones that threatened my life, which there are some out there that threatened my life because I didn't like the expo, those are my enemies. All right, that's funny. Okay, so I think we got to all the comments here. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. I feel like, I don't know, what do you guys think? I feel like our shows are too long. Our shows go to like 2 hours.
I don't know. We had a lot of questions the last few weeks. So I mean, if that's the case, we've got to get through them.
I try to keep it down to like an hour and a half, but I really think an hour is the sweet spot for this. But it just seems like we have so many questions, and I try to highlight all the comments as much as I can. So we end up usually going 2 hours.
We have lately.
What do you guys think? Would you prefer a shorter show, like under 1 hour? Or do you like this kind of like long form discussion where we go like 2 hours? I don't know.
It's whatever we have.
Yeah. So put that in the comments if you like it.
Please, let us know.
We will be doing more. We're going to be trying to step up our game for 2023. Me and Merlin, we had a long discussion about it. We want to do like, we're gonna create an intro for our show. We're gonna work on better graphics. We're gonna try to get more guests to appear on the show. But we want to change it up. We might invest in better equipment, things like that. We might open like I don't know, exclusive Patreon or something so that we can get some funding to invest more in the show. But we're definitely going to try to step up. Yeah, we're going to step up our game, guys, because we want to make Between Two Slabs the premier hobby podcast that everybody listens to, because I think me and Merlin are way more entertaining than a lot of these other people out there. No offense, but I just think we're more entertaining. So we want to step up our game.
I may have to go up to Melrose and use the DAP's studio.
Yeah. So more stuff like that. I think it'll be fun, guys. And we're open to suggestions because you guys are the people that we're in here. CV Sports Cards, Axel, Ed Ram, Andrew.
Yes.
All these guys
Axel,
in here that we see on a regular basis. You guys are
Vintage Lord, all those people.
Yeah.
All the people from Australia.
Yeah. Let us know, what you guys want to see, and we will try our best to implement it because we want to make this show even better leading up to the National this year.
Ed wants me to do a Britney Spears intro.
Okay. All right. Let's not get too crazy here, guys. Okay. With that, let's go ahead and wrap up. Anything you want to plug?
Just me going to Dallas, folks. So if y'all are going to be in the Dallas area this coming week, this weekend, then stop by, and I'm at the same table I'm always at, which is by the men's bathroom and DCI grading Yeah. So, once you take a peek, come out and say hello to me.
And then
come
out.
Hopefully you wash your hands before you greet me. But I'll be right there. Hopefully they'll be showing the playoff games in the DCI tent, but look for it on the far right. We'll be there. Like I said, I will be without Dan, so I could use some companionship, besides just Brian.
Companionship, he says. Okay, he's lonely. Okay, and then
we'll
be doing a live stream at the trade night. So if you guys want to jump in and be on the live stream, he needs a guest host for that.
And we're gonna do that same way that Dan and I did at the last Dallas show. I'm just gonna go over to trade night, turn it on, open up the mic, and whoever comes and speaks to me will get a chance to say hello and tell you how the show is.
Yeah. So it's going to be exciting. I'm sorry that I'm missing it, but I will be there in spirit, and I'll be watching all the content with everybody else here. Okay, so with that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Guys, we will be back next week. Thank you all for watching us, and we will see you next time.
Bye, Dan. Bye, guys. See y'all next week.